1 through 3. Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through fire, you shall not be burned, and the flames shall not consume you. For I am the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, and your Savior. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Remnant One. So it's been a couple of weeks, but I'm finally able to make a video. And I do other videos, and maybe one day I'll tell you about some of the other channels that I do. But it's calling for me to do this video tonight for a lot of different reasons. Hard times, the COVID virus, all right. And now that things are opening back up, we're seeing a spike of cases, and also still high unemployment, and the few people that are out here employed struggling and so forth. So either way you put it, that many people are having hard times now, even people that are doing well, because they may have others that they may have to take care of and look after. So tonight's topic is going to be hard times. You're not the only one. Read the book of Job. And that's one of the books that you need to read on your own. It's not a short book at all. So, arguably, it's one of the oldest books in the Bible. Okay. It speaks about a wealthy landowner that owned animals and crops and so forth, and it loses everything. Okay, but kept the most faith in the Most High. He ended up getting everything back and then some. So we'll get into that in a minute here, but just want to take a look at some updates here. You got to give this a minute to load. So in the United States, okay, that as of June 26th, the cases went up pretty much like 40,000 in one day. Okay, 2.51 million cases, and over 127,000 deaths. Okay, many are recovered, but this is spike in these cases are as a result of many establishments opening, some opening too soon, and a lot of cases that are increasing now by percentage. There's many states in the South and the West where people are moving and traveling to these areas now that it's getting warmer. Okay, so this is where we are right now. Now, Nevada is one of the service states here because so many people come here to Las Vegas, which I reside. We get over 40 million people per year, tourists that is. And as you can see, we have 13,535 cases now. Before June 4th, before they started opening up the service industry, i.e. Casinos, we had less than 5,000. And you can see how much it spiked to here in 21 days. And it's gotten to where the governor has mandated masks and so forth, okay, and started strictly enforcing the social distancing and so forth. He came down hard because I believe that many of the casino establishments, and you can see some of these videos on my Street Rat 702 videos, okay, the channel that I've been doing the most work on. That's capital STREETRAT 702. Now there's no spaces. So you can check out those videos that they haven't really been practicing social distancing at all. And many of the casinos are well beyond 50% capacity and so forth. So it's about money. And this is what this leads to when you mess with the Most High's creation. Okay, when there's not some type of law and order and structure, and when it's not enforced. Okay, let's just let this page load here. So I'm just giving an example of, as a result, the many people that are out of work. It's somewhere around 45 million people out of work, and that's a lot of people. Now here in Nevada, just alone, is about 30% unemployment. Many of these residents here in the state have not received their unemployment yet for some reason. So I'm just giving the example of what it looks like in New Orleans as a result, okay, of no tourism, New Orleans being one of them. Okay, so I thought here in Las Vegas, I've pulled up this clip on the empty strip. It's about a minute long, so I thought I'd let you guys take a look at this. And this does affect people because many people are out of work. So here's some pictures here of the empty strip. All right, so there you have it. And this has affected a lot of people, like mentally, spiritually. And I made a series on spiritual recovery, mental recovery, okay, because people are stuck at home. They're pretty much sidetracked now from their daily routines and so forth. It has caused a lot of stress and strain in people's relationships and their family, okay. There's a lot of people worried about how they're going to have money for food or rent and so forth. And those things will eventually take care of themselves. But in the meanwhile, it's an opportunity, a golden opportunity, maybe let's just say spiritually, okay, to edify yourself by putting the Most High first. And getting back to the scriptures and put away the idolatries like money and self-aggrandizement. Okay? Let's look at some other stuff here. Oops. This is stuff for me right here. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's for me. All right. So this is what I want to pretty much get into the book of Job, because just when you think that you have it bad, well, when you read about this guy, then it's all good. So just a few articles about Job here, okay, that the authors are known, but they're based on some eyewitness accounts. And back up there, that YouTube video was from Fox 5 News. Okay, but it could have been. It's argued to be the authors of this book was people that has eyewitness what Job had went through, or maybe his perhaps his colleagues, because he had three colleagues that were there, and they tried to console him when this incident happened, where a storm came. Basically, I was saying before that he was a very wealthy landowner, farmer, had 10 children, and a storm came, and he had lost all of his children, all of his crops, his land, and he just had his house. His wife had walked out on him. Okay, and Job is arguably the oldest book in the Bible. That's a very interesting book to read because Job was a Syrian, but also it speaks on a behemoth, and I like to talk about that. And I've mentioned this man before, and also the behemoth that had favored like an allosaurus. It wasn't like a hippopotamus, but maybe like some type of dinosaur-like creature, something that is not does not exist in this day and age. It was argued to be written somewhere around 2000 BC. Okay, because of that, and that is a evident that's one of the book of Job. That is one of the oldest books in the Bible. Okay, so as a result, he did live a long time. Okay, as a reward for keeping faith for the Most High. Okay. So let's talk about some other things here. Okay, back then, your wealth was measured on your possessions with land, livestock, also things like farming tools. I know from my grandfather on up, if you was considered a landowner and a farmer, you had lots of crops and you have a lot of farm machinery equipment, that you were considered wealthy at that time. Okay, so I look at Job, and from my studies and also from my personal studies, that pretty much God wanted to show him that he was in control of all things. And although I believe that Job was a God-fearing man, okay, that maybe he thought that he had enough or had things figured out and so forth, that God had a plan for Job, all right, that he wanted to test Job. I believe that at the end of this book, when Job was awarded a longer life, a more edifying life, but I believe that Job was tested. I believe that the Most High had turned the world upside down for Job, okay, and also in compensating to give him the test, okay, so he could live right side up. And I believe that when he did, this is Job, that is, when he did receive a better life, that he could appreciate that a lot better and use it, okay, for the reasons that he needed to use it for, the way that, the Most High himself wanted him to use it for. And that's why I think that the book of Job is so important. Points of Job in the next segment, part 2. So stay tuned for that. And also read the scriptures on your own, particularly the book of Job. Thanks.